where I was, I think.
No, we didn't talk about how long it was going to go. We were talking about what?
Oh, we didn't talk about anything.
Yeah.
Right? Now, one of the things that's quality with you is your facial expressions. Like your facial expression says it all. Like over the years.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah. So over the years, like I tell people, I'm that conduit in the Virgin Islands to get to Tim. And I tell people all the time, I said, listen, I sent him a text. He hasn't responded yet. That is a good thing. Because Tim's no's are immediate. Like there's no second guessing, there's no thinking about it. No is no. And we didn't discuss any of these questions. But I am staying in your house and I don't want to get put out. So I'm going to stay in the middle of the room. Not going to ask too tough of a question.
Ask whatever questions you want. Let's go.
But I saw that the Golden State Warriors head coach, Steve Kerr, at the time, said Tim Duncan was the greatest teammate he ever played with. Did you see that?
He actually sent me a message and said something along those lines. So, and again, segue. I've gotten some incredible notes, messages from so many different people that have actually honestly blown me away.
Yeah.
Didn't expect all of this. Didn't expect the reaction I got, but. It's been amazing. You've been with me. I spent the last 2 days trying to respond to everybody and trying to get back to everybody to make sure that they know I'm thankful for their message, their words. But so I did actually get a personal note from Steve.
Okay. Now, along in that personal note, did Steve say, "Hey, you know, our center right now is Jaja. Want to come play for us?"
No. we didn't go down that road, and you know, I'm blessed. I've got friends. I guess if you're around for 19 years, you just kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I've got friends everywhere, GMs, coaches, and everything else, and we've all joked about hey, why don't you just come play for us for So I've gotten. No serious offers, but funny offers in that respect, and that feels like love more than anything else. So I'll take it as that.
Okay, now that's an easy comment to make, but when you stop and you reflect that Steve Kerr played with Michael Jordan, that makes that compliment even greater. And in the heyday of Michael Jordan, the Black Jesus days. What was it like to face him?
I only got to face him a couple times, and it was. I think sometimes you just sat there in awe of what he is, and as not only a basketball player but as a global figure. And I remember my first shot against the Bulls when we played them here. My first shot was an air ball. It was just like a stone cold, wide open, just air ball, and it was just like wow, like that's the energy of just them being in the building, trying to get those nerves out, and I think that's kind of what he every time you're around him, that's kind of what he brought.
Now, how ironic was it for you that now young players gave you that feeling?
Yeah. That's always been.
Or you gave young people.
Yeah. That's always been such a weird feeling for me, because I get to sit next to guys in my locker room who are like compliment, and I try to take it as that, and try not to take it as man, you are old and still here.
Right. Now, I'm not.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so along that line. You know, you say you're in awe of these guys, the older players that you grew up watching, and the younger players that are playing with you are in awe of you. I heard recently that Bill Russell said that any comparisons people make between you and him, he finds flattering. That's crazy when you think about it.
Love Bill Russell.
Yeah, well, he's lovable.
Yeah,
But like, he's flattered by that. Like, go back and high five 10-year-old, 14-year-old you, and be like, "Holy smoke!"
Yeah, that's an amazing compliment. I've not heard that, but that's an amazing compliment from a guy I had an opportunity to be around on a couple different occasions, and a great and incredible person. And to know what he's done, and to hear that is, again, I'm overwhelmed by the responses I've gotten from in every direction, from old friends, high school friends, to college teammates, to coaches, to everything else, and then to hear things like that, it's just, I don't know or understand, or I guess I couldn't fathom the way people thought of me.
Yeah.
Just because I guess I don't do that for myself.
Exactly. And you're not one to toot your own horn. One of your prized possessions, well, I thought it was a prized possession. Tim was like, "That's cool, eh?" You have an autographed item from Dr. J. And I think on it says that you are his favorite player, or one of his favorite players.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the doctor, though.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you something. Right?
This
Wait, stop. If it was the other way around, as soon as I got that item from Dr. J, I was calling you on the phone, Tim. Dude, you won't believe what I just gained today. You don't even mention it. Not that you don't appreciate it.
No.
But it feels like bragging, don't it?
Yeah. Well, no. See, that's a tough one. I get a lot of things from a lot of people, and that is one of my very most prized possession. And I don't even think I have it out displayed. It's in my area where I see things on a daily basis, and it's just never been something to brag about. It was flattering to me in extreme ways, and it's a pride. And every time I walk by and I see it, I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool.
I'm that friend. That other friend.
You are that friend.
Yeah.
Well, this is good and bad. Sometimes I don't know how to take it. But I'm that friend that other friends contact, or family members, and ask me to tell you something that they feel like you should know, but everybody else is scared to tell them. And I remember on that blockbuster vacation, when you were a rookie.
Now it's a vacation. I went on vacation earlier.
That's to show you how old we are. Blockbuster was still around. I remember we were having a discussion, and Mark made the comment. This is after the string of Rookie of the Week awards, and Mark made the comment that when it's all said and done, you're going to be as good as Michael Jordan, or in the ranks of Michael Jordan. And me being the real guy that I was in the room, I was like, okay, come on now. I think we're going too far.
And I was right along with you.
I think we're taking it too far. But now that the day has come, like really and truly, like you are in the same breath with the greatest players of the game.
You know what? I don't know how to the ranking goes or anything else, and I tell this to people, I don't really care how the ranking goes. I'm in the conversation.
Right.
I'm okay with that. That's above and beyond anything that I ever thought I would be. So I'm in the conversation. I don't care where you rank me or what you say it is or how you want to say things go. I'm in the conversation, and that in itself is an honor.
All right. Now, I feel compelled to say his name the way another fellow with Virgin Islands ties would say his name when I bring this up. Stephen A. Smith talked about the fact that Tiago Splitter at one point made more money than you. How did you feel about that? Did you say, okay, here's what, Tiago, every time we go to dinner, you have to go to the same restaurant and you got to pick up the bill. Did you do that?
No, I love Tiago. I've never sitting here right now, I know at some point it was, but it's not ever been a deal for me. Like I don't. We were able to. I took a little bit less money at certain points so that we could stay competitive, so that we could bring players in, so that we could put pieces around, so that we could win championships. And that's all it was about. I really didn't care who was making what. And the honest truth is, and people may or may not believe it, I don't really know from year to year what everybody was making.
Right.
And I think that was the best perspective to have. Because I never looked at Thiago and said, hey, you're paying for dinner. I never looked at this guy and said, hey, you make more than me. I didn't know who was who and what was what, because I didn't pay attention to the numbers. And that gave me the ability to just be happy for whoever was doing whatever.
And I think, like, on the low, that was your motivation, though. You just mentioned that you wanted to be in the conversation. And I don't think people realize they see this humble nature that you possess. And I don't think they realize how important it was to you, not for the praise, but to be included in the conversation among the greats. And the sacrifices that you made as an individual to accomplish that. I mean, you have the greatest win percentage of any athlete in any sport over the course of your career. You won 61% of your games or something.
Look at you doing research.
Listen.
Oh!
Look, see, if we had this interview like 10 years ago, like, I could have been Ahmad Rashad to your Michael Jordan. Like, I could have been on national TV already. You know what I mean? So now I think we should do like a special where I like interview all the retired greats moving forward.
Hey.
And we bring them down to the Virgin Islands to shoot.
I'm all for that.
I think everybody would be all for
I
that.
think everybody would be all for that. I know I needed like a mulligan or like a gimme. I needed something to entice this deal. So a trip to the Virgin Islands might be it. But I don't think people realize how competitive you are. You know, I tell people all the time, like, yo, Tim is a bad man. When you finished the Western Conference Finals in 2014, and you said, we're going to do what we didn't do last year. You know, normally people don't want to create that locker room material, that billboard material to put on the opposing team's locker to give them motivation. That right there was like a signature piece. But that was like you saying, you know what? We should have won last year, but definitely we win in this year. And you did that against a great competitor in his own right, LeBron James. And you went out there and you accomplished that. And from the time the Western Conference Finals was over and that interview on the sidelines, I said the Spurs are going to win this year. And it was all because of your confidence. It was all because of your demeanor. But how is it people don't see that? Like, how at no point did people realize how competitive you are being one of the greatest athletes in the world?
I think I've always approached it a different way. I think competitiveness is taken in a different way by different people. So I'm not a yeller and a screamer and a jumper and a pusher. And I'm not going to do all that stuff with my teammates or opponents. But I've been competitive from day one. I got to the point where with my kids, I got to think about it. Like, I got to think about it. I got to turn it off. I got to be like, all right, okay, I got to let them win this one because I can't. It's just it's in my nature, and whether people recognize that or not, I don't know how they can't. I'm not going to go out there and try to hurt somebody or win at all means, but if it's up in the air, I'm going to try harder than you to get it done.
All right. Now, okay, you introduced the children into the conversation. I think you are the greatest father that I've ever witnessed. I had a great father. But I'm going to just give some tidbits to give some more insight of who Tim Duncan is that people don't realize. NBA Finals 2014. I was upstairs in my room. I guess I could call it my room.
It's your room.
And from downstairs early in the morning, like this is a championship game tonight. And early in the morning, I hear, Sheedy, what you want for breakfast? So I look down and you were in the kitchen making breakfast. And I'm thinking to myself, this has got to be the weirdest thing of any professional athlete preparing for a major game tonight. And he was like, no, I got to make breakfast for the kids. I never wanted kids. This is a true story. I never wanted kids until I saw you interact with your children. And the father that you are, I see that you're passing on the sense of humor. The kids weren't here in town this weekend. They called you at 1 o'clock in the morning. You pick up the phone for FaceTime, turn the screen around, and you said, hey, say hi to Rashidi. And the first comment the little comedian had, hey, Rashidi, you learned to swim yet?
We gotta post that picture though. We gotta use it in context.
Yeah, they've got a sense of humor on them. They do, and it's been such a blessing just to watch them grow but they, as you said, they know and they don't know what I do or what it takes. But they know I'm dad and I gotta be dad. So you gotta be dad when it's time to be dad.
So
I gotta interject something.
They're probably the only people in San Antonio who are happy that you're retired. Is that true?
It's mixed. It's mixed. I've been really fortunate the last couple of years. They both kind of started growing to really like watching the games and know what's going on. I give a lot of credit to Vanessa because she sits there and tells them what's going on and yells at the officials and all the other stuff. The good and the bad. So
I encourage the officials.
Take the good with the bad. So they've really kind of gotten into it, which and I think Sydney probably more than Dre thus far. I know Dre's love for the game is coming. I'm not pushing it, but I know it's coming. So they were. I don't know that they were happy or sad. I think they're okay with the fact that I'm going to be around more and they don't have to, compete with the schedule or anything else. So I think they're happy about it, but they're sad that they won't be able to go to the games and see me play and that kind of stuff. So it's mixed.
But even in your schedule, I mean, you were the kind of father who actually literally goes to school and have lunch with your kids.
Well, on top of that, like especially during the season, he gets up at 6 a.m. and helps them get ready, helps make sure everybody eats, make sure everybody's happy, drives them to school, and there are a lot of hands on deck. He can certainly find someone to do that. All of those things. Drives them to school because that's an extra hour that he has with them. Huh? What's that?
So we need to get Vanessa on mic. But it's
no. And then from there you go to practice. And then from there, or you take a nap on the massage table and then go to practice. And then after practice, come home, maybe grab a nap if there's a game, maybe go to blackjack, and then pick them up, help with homework. We have dinner together and then hang out, have fun, and put them to bed and do it all over again. Like the way
the schedule for the last couple of years has been a little bit of a grind, but again, you're asked to do what you're asked to do.
Is that because of what you saw your father did as a provider?
Yeah, it's just it's my desire to be there for them and to spend as much time as I can with them. So I can pawn it off on somebody else, but I love my time with my kids. So I try to do as much as I can with them. Okay. And now I get to get more time with them. So it all works out.
Okay, so now tell me about your love for the city of San Antonio. And what would you say to the fans in San Antonio that you haven't had an opportunity to say yet?
Just thank you. I don't think there's anything better to say than thank you. Over the years, we've been blessed. We've been great about winning games and everything else, and we've lost some big ones, and obviously lost a couple chances at championships. But the fans here have just been so awesome in their support and their love for the team. Even people out all the time. Sometimes people stop me, and sometimes it's not time for people to stop me.
Right.
But everybody's always shown just such appreciation and love for myself and the team. And I know everybody says this, but we really do. We have some of the best fans in the NBA, in sports in general. And I'm so appreciative of that, because you go to different places, and you get the different kind of fans, the fair weather fans. You get a lot of opposing jerseys and everything else. But here you get a consistent base. People come out, people support, people love the Spurs, and that's special. That's not everywhere. That's special.
And that's what I try to show people at home, like the hero worship. You know, I put it on the record at home. I'm like, listen, the only place Tim Duncan isn't referred to as a god is home. You know, any opposing arena, obviously in San Antonio, I mean, it's incredible. But on the day that you retire, I'm sure 7-Eleven is going to have a problem with the fact that you chose that date. But when I came in from my flight, you weren't watching ESPN. You know, if all day it was about Tim Duncan and highlights, and you're watching the Discovery Channel. I mean, how are you wired like that? I mean, you must realize you're not LeBron James, so they're not going to show these highlights for a week. That was your one day, bro.
I know, I missed it, huh? No, I didn't want to. And this has been such a weird. I didn't expect the response that
Really?
it got. No, I didn't. And again, I just the way I'm built. But I knew that I didn't want to sit there and watch what was being said, because it's appreciated, but I didn't want to watch it. And I got a chance to watch Pop's interview yesterday, and I about lost it on that one. But I heard so many great and nice things. My teammate Bruce had a great segment that Vanessa showed me. But I didn't want to sit there and watch it all day, because it's not like. Luckily, I'm not dying. I'm just moving to another chapter. So.
And what will you do in this chapter?
That's the beauty of it. There is no script. The first time in 20-something years, I don't have a script. I don't have somewhere I have to be and something I have to do. So I get to go out and enjoy my kids even more. And outside of that, I get to do a little bit of living. It'll be great.
All right. Now, a lot of people may have forgotten or don't even realize how good you were. Okay? First playoff game, and for some reason you used to scorch the Phoenix Suns. First playoff game, 1998. You remember what you did?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember numbers. I need Tony here. Tony remembers all the numbers.
Really?
No, see, after games, I'm like, oh, congratulations. I'm in the hallway punching. He's like, this is so great. And he's like, what? What'd I do?
Right. So
Like,
I'm gonna tell you what you did. 32,
It's crazy.
10, and 2. 28 in the second half. That was your first playoff game as a rookie. How do you do that?
I played very well in the first half.
See, that's a
There you
typical
go.
Tim Duncan answer. I didn't play very well in the first half. Finals MVP against the Knicks. You averaged 27, 14, and 2.5. Now, what was cool about that championship is you were a young guy, and I was a young guy. And I was thrusted into the role of flying up 150 Virgin Islanders. And people don't quite understand that feat if you don't understand your typical Virgin Islander. So to get these 150 Virgin Islanders on the same page to come and enjoy the time, but then the impact that those Virgin Islanders had on San Antonio. We came with Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights. They were playing music on the River Walk, and we left an indelible mark on San Antonio. We brought food. We were giving away Cruiser rum samples. I mean, that.
Yes, I remember that very well.
Now, how did that make you feel to know that all these people came? We chartered a plane. We didn't stay the night. We couldn't afford it. We flew back. You paid for all the ground transportation, all the buses for us, and we flew back. And you know, at the time, I don't think people realized the life of a professional athlete and the obligations you had as a superstar. And you know, the fact that you went on, we saw game one, and we saw that love up close and personal. The Go Spurs Go in the building that's lit up all the time. I don't know which building it is, but we saw the love up close and personal, and we came away with a pride that you wouldn't believe. And then on top of that, you sealed the deal and won the championship. What was the first one like? 2 years in.
I don't even think I knew how to feel at that point. Like I remember when the Latrell shot that last ball and missed, and the place erupted. I was looking around like, are you kidding me?
And how many people were in the Alamo Dome at that time?
In the Alamo Dome?
Yeah.
No, this is in the Garden when we won that one.
No, what the game one?
Oh, in game one.
Yeah. Because remember, you were still playing in the Alamo Dome then.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I have no idea.
Some record number.
Yeah.
And we were part of it.
Yeah. But as I said, I don't think I even knew how to react at that point. I was like, are you kidding me? I see these guys who've been playing for years and years and years, and I just get here, and this is what's going on. I won a championship. Again, I think that the theme of this whole look back at my career is like I didn't expect to be where I was, and but in the same respect, I had people around me. I had guys like Sean and Avery and all these guys who've been through this journey and who've fought all these years, and I could see them and learn from them and learn what it was to work to get to that point, and learn what it meant to them to have come so far in their career and then be there. And it's just all a learning process. I'm blown away. Unbelievable learning process.
All right, 2002, MVP of the league, 25 and 13.
Ooh.
Average a double-double. Man, that was putting in some serious work.
Yeah.
And
Good old days when the knees were really good.
Right, the knees.
You remember those days?
Yeah, I remember those days too. And then you followed it up in 2003. You only dropped off 2 points, 23 and 13, regular season. Back-to-back MVPs. At that point, are you starting to realize how great you are going to be? Or you didn't even believe your own hype yet?
No. Obviously, at that point, I believed in what I could do. Again, being a competitor, I wanted it year after year after year, and I remember being disappointed years after that when I wasn't able to be an MVP. But that's just my competitive nature in that respect. But no, I believed in what I was. I didn't know that was going to translate into ending up in 5 championships and anything else. But I knew that I could affect the game. I knew that I could control the game in ways. I knew how to do it, and it was just about being in the right situation with the right bunch of guys, and getting it done.
I know we encourage people to go and look at YouTube to see some old footage of Tim Duncan. Even though you just retired, some of your footage is old, brother. So, game 1, finals against the Nets, 32-20 and 7 in the 03 finals. Game 6, Roman numeral 6. We're going to talk about this in a little while. You went for 21, 20, 10, and 8. It's one of the greatest finals performances of all time. Like, I mean, how do you become so dominant? And don't get in nobody's face, don't brag about himself. There's a bunch of pictures of Tim Duncan in here. However, they're all with teammates or family members. There's no individual picture of you in your home. Like, it's great artwork, but it's the big three. How important was it to play with that unit? Did you guys hold on to any pride being international players, even though you're from the U.S. Virgin Islands? A lot of times you're considered international, and sometimes FedEx treats us international too. That's a whole other story. But did you guys take a special pride in that?
Absolutely. I think we all had, we took pride in representing where we came from. Took pride in being from our small towns, our small places, and places all around the world, and be able to come together and make ourselves into a team, into a group of guys with one goal, and get that done. So, a kid from the islands, a kid from somewhere in France, a kid from somewhere in Argentina, and we find ways to get things done, and then you put Pop on top of that, and him having the vision to put us all together and to see what we could be. You look back, and that's just an amazing feat to have all these kids from all these different places come together and be what we were.
Now, how is it to be an inspiration to young players? And what do Virgin Islands fans mean to you? Because Virgin Islands fans, you know, listen, I need to explain something, right? I had some visitors who were from San Antonio, and they came to the sports bar in St. Thomas that I owned. And there were times where the young lady's name was Amy, if I'm not mistaken. There were times that literally I could see Amy was a little scared. Because when we watch a game and we're excited, we slam him down, take kill them, Timmy!
Yep.
And I saw her cringe a couple times. But we are passionate.
Yeah,
I
very
think
passionate, yeah.
extremely passionate. How do you feel about fans like that? Like I said, listen, that game where whoever elbowed Manu Ginobili in the inbound play this season, there was no way that was going down in the Virgin Islands and the police wasn't coming to the area. There was no.
Well, that how I feel about the fans of Virgin. I love our people because they are passionate, and they're gonna love you and push you, and but they're gonna be all for you. And I think that in itself is what really defines a fan to me. Those kind of people, which are the people that I grew up with. I love the support and love I get from those people.
That's one of the comments that Pop made. You're one of the realest, most genuine people that he's ever met. And Virgin Islanders are some of the most real, genuine people that you'll ever meet. To a fault sometimes. I mean, when you come home in 5 years and you gain 30 pounds, somebody goes, "You get fat here." Like, there's no in between. It's like, oh man, you let yourself go, man. You know, and do you feel like that's where you get some of your authenticity?
I hope so. Yeah. There's so many factors involved. Growing up in that place and community, obviously, is a big part of it. My parents, my sisters, that's a big part of it. The family and friends. There are too many directions that it's come from to make me what I am. But absolutely a big part of it is where I was able to grow up and the people I was able to grow up around.
I know you're also known as an innovative thinker, and at the NBA draft, it is speculated that you invented the selfie. Do you take responsibility for that?
What?
Selfie?
Yes. See, you don't remember this? You haven't seen it? This is to show you that Tim Duncan does not watch anything that involves himself on TV or social media. Yeah, you were with, I want to say, Billups came out in your class, right?
Yeah.
I think you took his camera, video camera, and you turned it around on yourself. And it is the first documented selfie. There may have been a selfie before.
Well,
that.
look at you.
No, seriously, look it up. Google that. You are credited with possibly inventing the selfie.
Nice. That makes me really old.
Yeah, that is true.
No, that's just ironic because you've never taken a picture of
Right.
yourself in life.
Since then,
Yeah.
you've taken a selfie. So it was the first and the last. And also, I think we are also credited with the VI hand signal symbol. Yes, the VI hand symbol that everybody uses. And whenever I challenge anyone, I ask them, I need you to go and see if you could find, again, documented evidence, picture preferably, where this is being used. And I think we did it at the first Ballers weekend on the beach. And I remember when we did it in that group photo, people were asking, like, what's that? And we were like, that's the VI sign, you know? And you really revolutionized the way VI people hail up.
Yeah, and Adidas is using it too, right? Are they?
And you know, this is what's so humble about you, Tim. And I'm gonna leave with these last couple of thoughts. There's a sign, a billboard at home, welcoming people to the Virgin Islands. It's an image of you, and we were going through some options as to what we wanted to use. We were first of all appreciative that you said yes. But I had the idea, I was like, Tim, you got 4 rings now. This was before the 5th. I said, you know what would be an awesome picture to put on our billboard? If we put the VI sign and put your 4 rings on it. Do you remember what you told me?
I feel like I said no.
Yes. You said, you know, believe it or not, I don't wear my rings. And I'd have to sleep on that. And when you woke up, you said no. But, I mean, you felt like it was showing off. I mean, that Bill Russell picture is famous.
Yeah.
You know? But you couldn't bring yourself to do that.
No, I don't. I think I've taken my rings out on 4 or 5 occasions where I've had family around who wanted to see them and brought them out. And it's fun to do that every once in a while, but that's not something that I'd be comfortable with, having something like that out there. And maybe someday it will be. Maybe someday I'll look back and I'll say, hey, I'd love to have a iconic photo like the Bill Russell photo. But in that respect, I didn't think it fit. I love the picture that we chose because it was in the midst of a celebration.
And what were you doing in that celebration?
I was, what was it? I had the VI signs up, both of them.
You had both of them on?
Yeah. And so it was. I think it was perfect. The thought process, even in those times, were thinking about where I was from.
And you're still tight with your St. Dunstan's teammates as well.
Yeah.
They come through San Antonio and enjoy what Tim Duncan has become, and everybody is totally enamored with your success. We are extremely proud of you. Got a lot of comments and a lot of people saying thank you for what you've done, not only for the Virgin Islands.
And that's Cruz.
That's Cruz. It was a very big dog. What you've done for the Virgin Islands in the game of basketball, and we just really want to say thank you. I want to thank you personally as well. It's been a great ride.
Okay, it's all right. We have
Here,
that's
you want
that's
camera time,
why
baby? Here.
Interviews at home.
That's Cruz. That's Isla.
And even, you know what? It's kind of cool that the dogs are making noise because the dogs are named Isla, which is island, and Cruz, St. Croix. And you know what? I think a lot of people don't realize how passionate you are about the Virgin Islands. I don't think people realize how many people you send home and allow to stay in your residence at home because you're proud of the Virgin Islands, and you know they're going to come back with a great experience of the place we call home. And it's been a great time for me. I've enjoyed things that I've never been able to enjoy otherwise. You know, I remember I went to All-Star games, and there's a lot of comments about obviously the way you dress.
Which has gotten so much better, by the way.
Which has improved, but
Significantly.
but I'm gonna take it back to where it came from. I was looking at some pictures, doing some research, and at some point this must have seemed okay to me because I don't remember seeing this picture. But you had just won the NBA MVP award. And you showed up to take a picture with the trophy with R.C. Buford and David Stern in a jeans shirt pants, a red t-shirt,
And flops.
and some sandals that may have been purchased in the Virgin Islands. And I was like, what? And you know, today I realized, you know what, at some point I thought that was okay. Because I couldn't remember this picture for nothing. And that just is testament. I remember one time we were walking on going to the game, NBA All-Star California, Los Angeles. And we hopped on the elevator and everybody is suited up. I remember Ben Wallace specifically being very sharp. And shout out to David Dennis, who actually played college ball with the great one, Ben, the big Ben. And when you walked on the elevator, Ben said, "Hey T, I see you get dressed up for the." Well, he didn't say that. I see that you've gotten dressed up for the occasion. And you said, "Well, I thought I overdressed, but you were in jeans. You still look like an island man today. We do not wear tight pants in the Virgin Islands.
Puppy, stand up.
You know what I mean? We still, you know, we still like our pants with room, and you've remained true to who you are. I consistently tell people that Tim Duncan is the same person that I knew when we finished high school. It's just that people's perspective of Tim Duncan changed, but he truly remained the same. I want to thank you for that authenticity. I remember the 2014 finals, my coolest experience as a human being. You made a great play, and all the cameras and the people in the arena, you looked at me and nodded, and I had to nod back in approval. I was like, this is like too cool. And I mean, man, Tim, you're truly a legend of the game. You were particularly great in game sixes. Be careful, Peter is watching. You were particularly great in game sixes, and I think it has something to do with that Roman numeral 6, that VI sign. And on behalf of every Virgin Islander, brother, thank you for all that you've done in terms of your contributions at home for those organizations, particularly with youth, what you did for the Sunstroke Alvia Hoop Classic, what you've done for other sports and athletes in football, tennis, baseball. You don't just sponsor basketball events. And I just want to say thank you from my heart, brother, and enjoy your retirement.
Yeah, real quick, and as we sign off here, I just want to say thank you to everyone, not only listening, fans all around the world. It's been fun, and the next chapter will be fun too. But I really enjoyed the ride. I really enjoyed the cheers and the laughs and the highlights and the lowlights, everything that comes with the package. So thank you guys for being involved in that part of my life with me. Thank you to all my island folk who have supported me and loved me over the years. Thank you to my family, my friends. Just no better way to put it, just thank you.
All right, man. And you made me seem prophetical at times. Because I predicted many of these Game 6 performances for the record. I'm putting it out there. I'm letting everybody know, honestly, I did. You can ask him. I told you, man, in the Heat series, I said, Tim, you got a big game coming. You got a big game coming. And it was Game 6. 30 points, 17 rebounds. 25 of those points came in the first half. That's 10 years after you put up 21, 20, 10, and 8 in Game 6 in 2003. That's a staple. That's consistency personified. And legendary status. So I plan to be holding the microphone to the first ballot Hall of Fame induction thing.
Induction thing.
Maybe we might show up in some shot.
Maybe we might just do that.
At least a tuxedo t-shirt, get fancy.
But definitely, man, thank you everybody who tuned into Vivid Streaming. Make it a habit. Don't just hear the vision, share the vision. And this right here is symbolic of the way you've included the Virgin Islands in every major milestone of your life. To choose to do this with us when we got the ESPNs and the CNNs of the world, this is truly a testament not to our friendship, but to how you feel about the Virgin Islands. So big respect, my lord. So we're gonna head out to the lake, and I'm gonna catch all the fish, and we're gonna live it up, man.
Yes, sir.
Gone fishing.
Yes, sir.
Salute.